How much should you tip? 20%. Okay, we suppose further explanation is in order. We recommend 20% because it's the easiest mathematical way to figure this out. Simply divide your total by 5, and that's
just the tips.
But wait, you say, my total doesn't divide evenly into 5. Well then, we use a little technique called rounding to the nearest number divisible by 5. And this is where you can be generous or not so generous. For example, if the waiter was exceptional in their service, round up to the higher number divisible by 5. If the waiter was mediocre, round down to the lower number divisible by 5. If the waiter your father with a can opener, tip 10%. Now that we know how much to tip, we have to decide whom to tip. And this isn't an easy question to answer because 98% of the working class is criminally underpaid for their labor. And to make matters worse, there are a lot of arbitrary rules on whom we shouldn't tip and whom we should. Fast food employees and waitstaff perform essentially the same function, but we weirdly decide only to tip waiters. Now don't get us wrong, we're not saying you shouldn't tip waitstaff, but we have to point out that tipping is another way we enable capitalism to underpay its employees. Because if corporations can rely on tips, then they don't have to raise wages or share profits. That said, if you decide not to tip, you're an asshole. With that out of the way, here is a short list of workers you should tip, with apologies to anyone we forget. Waitstaff, masseuses, barbers, manicurists, hairstylists, tattoo artists, delivery drivers, sex workers, taxi drivers, hotel cleaning staff, bartenders, and of course, baristas. 2 notes about baristas. First of all, don't hit on them. Ever. You should be polite to a barista. You can even be friendly with a barista. But don't hit on them. They have enough to deal with, and chances are slim you're as charming as you think you are. Second, with baristas, we recommend tipping $1 per drink. Mainly because it's easy to keep track of and doesn't require a lot of math. Now, if you're someone who gets drip coffee from a cafe, you may balk at the idea of tipping an extra $1. But if paying an extra $1 for your cafe coffee sounds too expensive, you should just brew your own. After all, if you can't handle the tip, you shouldn't be eating out. I'm Comrade Rourke, and you are the revolution. Produced in collaboration with Fort Collins Public Media. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, please email us at communistfinance@gmail.com or follow us on Instagram at Comrade Rourke.